I got everything, but
Oh my god! You know what that brings up for me?
What is it? What?
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard.
Yeah, Eddie Izzard in Dress to Kill, where he is like, did I leave the stove on?
Right.
No, of course not. I'm a fucking squirrel. Good morning, everyone. It is July 25th. It is, July 25th.
Oh my god, yeah. Wow, yeah, really. Wow, we are in the last week of July and we're all discombobulated.
Right. And you are watching the Ragin 2 the vlogs, and we are going to throw this intro and we will be right back.
Hit it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that wake. Okay, everyone's awake now, right? Good morning. Good morning, Nita. So, I got my Monday posted out today. I had to remind myself, Jesus, I had quite quite the productive weekend. So I'm still a little thrown off by that, but in a good way for a change. So welcome everybody to another episode of your favorite show, TR2TV.
Greatness and completely coincidental.
Right, exactly. It was really funny how that worked. I'm still chuffed by that. The show, Ragin 2, the vlog show, the show with the title that's cranky, but the show that's nice, or however that thing went.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll figure something out.
It's all bullshit anyway.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. So welcome everybody. So yes, we are in the last week of July. I'm already ramping up with getting through my checklist. But before we get into that, hello, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York, which explains a lot, probably. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for my medieval fantasy soap opera. Well, no, that's the other one. That's the other one. I am known Firstly, for my medieval funny animal fantasy adventure, Tall Tales, which I should be getting the books from the Kickstarter campaign the first week of August. So hopefully I'll be able to get those shipping soon. Thank you everybody for supporting the Volume 4 campaign. And I am also known for my medieval fantasy soap opera drama. This one, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. It's Monday, let me just get through this. Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, Volume 1, collecting issues 1 through 4, launching August 22nd, 2022. I can't believe it that we're already at this point already. links in the show notes below so that you can click on the notify me button and you get notified when the campaign finally goes live in August. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out how I make my comics with my videos on my YouTube channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Ragin 2 network. So click on all the buttons, click on all the subscribes, click on all the notification bells so that you get notified whenever we go live, whenever a new show pops up. And there's a lot of shows. We have a lot of shows this week. So Nita, tell the people who you are.
My name is Nita Lanning. I am the Blue-Eyed Savage. I am a writer, vlogger, blogger from Southeast Louisiana, and I am the executive producer of the Ragin 2 Broadcast Network, which is now the Indie Comics Network, because I am so used to reading that shit like that look, I don't even know who I am without this paper. So.
Oh, well, me too. It's like, that's why. It's like, look, there is no shame in using cue cards. I have been using cue cards all the time. When it's like, look, we can't memorize everything. At this point, my brain is full. I can't fit in any more words. So everything has to be on.
My name is Nita, though.
Yes, there we go. We know that for sure. We know that for sure.
Yeah, I tattooed it on me one night when I was drunk, so I'd never forget.
Oh well, well, it happens. It happens, So, when you're just lying there and they go, who is it? Oh,
it's found.
Please leave her alone. She'll sleep it off. So who's in the comments?
We got Tina and Pops this morning. So
there we go.
Hello.
Yeah, it's Monday. Everyone's all like, the weekend's over. Although what's funny is that I never understood why I still I haven't held an outside job since 2013, and I don't understand why Monday still has the same effect on me. It's like, oh shit, it's Monday. Oh, wait a minute, I'm doing the same thing on Monday I did on Friday and Saturday. And Sunday.
Right.
What's the big deal with that? So yes, and also I do see you, everybody who's watching this channel from regions beyond. If you're watching us from links on Facebook or links on Twitter, come on over, join our sexy people in the chat. We have a fun time here. It's like, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and tell them, tell us them so that we may, marvel at what's going on in your brain when it comes to whatever topic we're talking about. We enjoy that stuff. We all have a good time here. So if you do have, if you do like YouTube stuff or whatnot, like I said, it's like, don't be ashamed to use cue cards. I swear to God, it'll improve everything. There's only so much
life only gets better when you follow the list.
Right, exactly. So it's like, yeah. So I use a cue card, so no shame in Nita using a cue card. And you know what? It's like, the more you'll end up inadvertently becoming more confident speaking by using cue cards. So there's no shame in that. Speaking of things that being on the internet kind of makes us do now. So you're looking into redoing your background there.
I am completely renovating my space. It's going to take time, so the office is going to be like really disheveled for a bit. It's not going to look like a flea market anymore. Still going to keep my nerdy stuff, but it's going to be a lot more organized, and I think it's going to be prettier.
Right, there you go. So everybody, it's like, what do you think about that zebra pattern in the back there? It's like, so she's testing out some. I was doing the same thing with trying to choose colors for the office. I was just like, I was taking all those little paint chips from Home Depot and like slapping them on the wall, and taking a look at them during different points of the day and whatnot, putting them up towards the camera, trying to figure out, okay, how does the lighting work with this? I mean, it's just like, if you had told me 10 years ago I would be decorating, like kind of
based like on YouTube.
Yeah, based on YouTube, they'd be like, oh, that's ridiculous. And it's like, and here we are choosing patterns and colors. Like, okay, is the lighting going to? But yeah, no, seriously though. So everybody who's watching, is that zebra pattern? How does that look on your screen, especially for everybody who's?
Well, also consider that that's something I just printed out. The actual wallpaper that I'm getting will be broader striped, and there's more white in between. And I'm gonna do the fluorescent pink highlights in the room, and there will not be near the clutter behind me. Because I'm getting lower shelving, and I'm gonna run my books behind me, and it's a lot, and I'm excited.
All right, yeah, I know, right? There's like HR beginning to do her memoirs during the show.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty exciting to be able to kind of like redo your space. I mean, I just find it funny though that it's like it's like that it's literally we're doing like this. Like, okay, how does this?
Yesterday I was like, I propped myself just like this and took pictures and cropped them and zoomed in because I'm trying to imagine it behind everything, the whole wall and in here. And when we did some photoshopping and playing around, and it ended up I think it's gonna look nice.
Right. I mean, so everybody, because everybody watches YouTube. Everybody, So chat, it's like, so chat. What is it when you watch a YouTube channel? When you watch somebody, what's the thing that like you see that right off the bat makes you go, oh, I can't watch this before anybody says anything? That's like, or it's like, even if you do watch it, you're like, you find yourself completely distracted.
I'll tell you what irks me.
What?
People that get online frequently completely disshelved. Like, bruh, be aware of what's around you, what you're putting out there in public. If you don't give a fuck about yourself and your stuff, why should anybody else? I mean, there's a reason why hairbrushes exist.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like fucking care about your shit. Care about yourself. You want people to care about your product and carry yourself like you do.
Right. That's funny. Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's just really like, I don't know if like, maybe like we're just, picky like that, but when I was, redoing my space, it's like, yeah, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos just to kind of get us Pops trying to start.
I wasn't naming names. Rich is a werewolf motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
We expect Rich to look wild when he comes on.
I mean, it's like we have a friend that it's like shaving is such, like he literally like he grows hair like he has to shave like every 5 minutes. It just seems.
I believe that's Rich too. I'm telling you, that dude's got some kind of lycanthropy.
Right? Yeah, it's like which is very trendy right now. By the way, werewolves are hot right now. But yeah, it's so I would be watching like other people's YouTube videos. Hey, Mike, Jimmy, just to kind of like get a sense as to like what things look like in the background and like what kind of it's like what kind of aesthetic kind of like it's like, okay, is this like and that's the thing too. Remember back in the days where we would just go, it's like, what, it's like I'm drawing my comic and it's like, what, if people like it, if it's good, people will just come to it. It's like I don't really have to do much of anything. Or at least you thought you didn't,
Yeah, no, I don't think that was ever the case. I think a lot of people and a lot of artists disillusioned themselves like that. Because for me, it's always been just as much about the person as the art too.
Right. San Diego Comic-Con was this week.
Although there is one motherfucker I absolutely hate, but I still buy their shit.
Oh, well, but that happens, though. I mean, it's like, you see, that's the thing. It's like
your stories are good and I hate you for it, motherfucker.
Right. Here's my money. God damn it. It's like, yeah. So San Diego Comic-Con was this weekend. And what's funny is that if it wasn't for the fact that people would mention it on my feed, I would have completely forgotten.
Right.
Sam had mentioned that he had wanted to go to San Diego, but they told him wait until next year because right now they were just concerned about honoring all the people that they had to that they
Right.
had to, like, I guess, cancel everything because of, you know, the great unpleasantness going on.
Mhm.
So so yeah, so you know, so it's just like, and you know what's really funny is that
Take my money, bitch. Love her.
you know, so yeah, I mean, it's like I'm somebody who kind of like, I just like, the older I get, the less patience I have for conventions. Like, I don't know, Kickstarter just made it really, really easy for me, you know, to just uh you know, it's like, yeah, it's like to just sell my stuff without, you know, having to worry about manning a booth and traveling and all that.
Right.
But
And lugging all that shit.
no, yeah, and you see, and that's the thing though, because you know, looking at all this footage from San Diego, I mean, I don't know, there's something really is special about San Diego Comic-Con.
Some of the animatronics and fucking, oh my god, the Lego Bowser. I would have liked to have just gone there and taken a picture with that thing.
You
Like,
know,
I'm sorry, I know it's about the comics or whatever, but there was just like, I was more amused with the exhibits than anything.
right.
Like, I'm just like, whoa, I have got to fucking go there.
Right. Yeah, that, because you say, because we have New
I
York
don't want to work it. Fuck that.
Right. Well, it's like, yeah, I've worked it for, I think, around like 7 years. We were going there and working the show. And yeah, and it's like, and look, we have New York Comic-Con coming up in October, which unfortunately I'm on the wait list for a table, which is Reed Pop's code of, we really want you to buy a small press booth at $2,500. It's like, no.
Right.
But the thing is though, like, even New York Comic-Con, the several times that we went, didn't have the same, I don't know, it didn't have the same ambiance as San Diego. It didn't have the same excitement. It didn't have, yeah, it's just not the same thing. Like, if given a choice between, it's like, okay, I can go to San Diego or I can go to New York Comic-Con, I'd choose New York Comic-Con. I mean, San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. You know, and
I mean, if you want to work it, Daphne, and you get in over there, let me know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'll relieve you to drop a deuce or whatever. You know.
Right? Yeah, there you go. You know, because you know, hey, it's like, yeah. Well, you know what's funny is that that small press where we usually are always near the bathrooms, so we never had a problem with having.
You gotta eat it. Fuck.
Yeah,
I just want to complain.
No, but it's just to show you like how big San Diego Comic-Con is, and I'm telling you, if you've never been to Comic-Con, either as an exhibitor or as just to go there, honestly, you really do need to go at least once. You know, I mean, that's
it was like nerdgasm from
right. It's just like, yeah, you know, and it's like, and then all these trailers, like, I didn't, like, really, I kept forgetting, saying, oh wow, all these trailers are coming out now, what's going on? And again, it was just like, oh yeah, San Diego Comic-Con. But yeah, like, that was the show I kind of missed. But you see, but the problem is that well, Pops, I mean, yeah, it's yeah, doing a convention is kind of nerve-wracking. It's always
you're gonna be with some pros. You're gonna be with some pros. They got you.
Right. I mean, because, you know, speaking in front of a camera, I mean, it's like that's a lot easier than right, yeah, and then it's like, that's a lot easier than talking to people face to face. And here's the thing too, the one thing that I really, really noticed about San Diego is that, you know, in spite of all the complaints how San Diego is really like a media convention, it's not really about comics or whatnot, people are still excited about comics there.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, if you really, I mean, if you're in small press, I mean, people really do enjoy seeing your stuff there, and they're very excited about supporting you and whatnot. So that's also, I think what it is that because San Diego is the big one, you know,
calm down, oh man.
Yeah.
They got you.
Yeah, you'll do fine, Pops.
You're gonna do fine.
You know, you'll do fine. But yeah, it's just like, it's I don't know, like the like, because San Diego is the big one, right? And it's like, so a lot of people, that's the only show they go to for the entire year. So they're saving up for San Diego for the entire year. So it's kind of like nerd Christmas when they get there.
It really is.
And
I'd have to go with thousands or I'd feel incomplete.
Right. It's like, look, the one time we were there, me and Jose timed ourselves walking from one end of the dealer's room to the other, the convention hall itself.
Right.
And it took us 45 minutes, not stopping. It's like just well, we weren't like speed walking or anything, but we were just kind of like, okay, let's just walk.
Just getting an idea of the layout.
Let's just go, like down the main and kind of like go around. Yeah, just kind of get an idea for it.
Right.
It took us 45 minutes just to get an overview of the hall. And the thing is, though, when that floor gets crowded, it gets crowded.
See, that's the part I wouldn't like.
Yeah, that's
why somebody I know has to be working there so I can duck behind their booth.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't need an anxiety break.
Yeah. So it's like, no, there was one. So one year they had the entire cast of Lord of the Rings, I guess, showing up. And I was trying to get through and I got caught in one of the clusters. And I got pushed up against one of the booths that was there, and I'm literally trapped in a crowd. I literally have to just stand there and wait, for the crowd to kind of break up.
Especially being short. Nobody respects us short fuckers in crowds.
I think that I must have been caught in that thing for like about a half hour, just standing there. I mean, it's like, I've been to Disney and at its most crowded, I never felt like that. But right next to me, the booth that I was getting mashed up against was one of the Lord of the Rings booths. And Billy Boyd was right there. Like, I could literally just reach out and like,
hey, dude,
sing Misty Mountains for me. You could literally do that. I mean, that wasn't the movie that came out at the time, but it's like, but I was like literally smashed up with Billy Boyd right there. And it's like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
Megaton. Meredith and I were both. She's short as fuck too. Yeah. She's only like 2 inches taller than I am,
right.
And I literally, to keep up with her, looped one of my fingers into her belt loop, like I made my kids do when they were tiny,
right.
And that's how we stayed together.
Right. Like, if we ever end up at MegaCon, we're gonna have to get one of those, like, those little monkey backpacks.
Oh, totally.
We're gonna have to tie it together so that we can walk through. We can walk through the
we're gonna be tied together. That is like,
I know. With our little monkey backpacks, just like with our little bag of Cheerios in case we get lost.
For fuck's sake.
Oh my goodness. But San Diego, so San Diego is actually the one show that I missed going to, but I have to admit, though, it's a nightmare to prepare for. It really is.
Imagine.
Not only with the amount of stuff that you have to have shipped over there, which, mind you, where San Diego,
everything, right?
Yeah, where San Diego is a sleepy little area that only wakes up for Comic-Con. So we're talking about, like, where any time of the year, you can get a shitty little hotel for like $80 across the street from the convention center is now $400 a night during Comic-Con.
Son of a bitch.
And then not only that, you have to go through a lottery through Comic-Con in order to get one of those hotel rooms. So it's just the hotel lottery is a nightmare. I mean, it was, it's like, I remember like one year I was at work when the lottery opened up, and I had to, and it's like, I had to run the lottery on multiple computers. It's like, I just took advantage. It's like, okay, nobody touched the computers for like the next 20 minutes, and it's like,
crap.
I had multiple computers just to get a hotel room. You know, and the thing is, though, is that, like I said, and everybody jacks up their prices for Comic-Con. It's like,
I'm
even when
sure.
I'm shipping stuff out, so not only do you have the price of shipping, but you also have the hotels that now charge per box for accepting your stuff. So
See,
it's like,
that's why Airbnb is such a good thing now. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
sorry.
like I kind of wonder, like how much that has.
I mean,
that's
unless they're in the know, they're not going to jack their shit up. You know, like when we
right,
went to Florida, the hotel rooms were outrageous, but
right,
the Airbnb we got cheaper than a hotel room and had the
right,
entire house.
right, and you had a lot of people in there, and you
Mm-hmm.
had your own bedrooms and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, it's so yeah, so it was just like, yeah, so it's like, so not only are you spending several $100s to ship something out, yeah, no, for real, Joe, it's no joke. And you're spending another several $100s to get your stuff out of the hotel. I mean, it's a nightmare, but I do kind of miss that show. Yes, my Jimmy. Jose was talking about going to the Netherlands and checking out your Comic-Con scene over there. So you just I hope you have a big enough sofa. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's not like, no, it's true.
So you can't
Everybody is,
even in advance. They know
no,
already.
you
Wow, that's a
cannot.
dick
You
move.
have to go through the lottery. Every hotel
Gosh.
has a contract with Comic-Con to go through the lottery. I mean, it's rough. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's why we don't go there casually. And it's because it's just not, it's way too much. But like I said, I kind of miss it. Like I said, but once you're there and once you're set up and you have this absolute enthusiasm of people really going through people really do go through the small press, because you don't spend that much money to get into San Diego Comic-Con to just leave.
Right.
So everyone's making it worth it for them. So they're going through everything, and yeah, um yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just yeah. And what I don't like about San Diego too is that they admit that they purposefully make it complicated. Oh, there we go. We're getting all we're getting all the recommendations in the chat for which conventions are good and which aren't. Yeah, that San Diego Comic-Con says that they make getting the tickets purposefully complicated because they don't want casuals to show up. They want people who are dedicated to the convention to come to the show. So I mean, there's a benefit to that, and but the thing is, it's also a detriment too, because it's like New York Comic-Con, they stopped selling like weekend passes. Now you can only buy per day. And for us, that's actually a really good idea, because it means that you're not getting the same people for the whole weekend. You're getting brand new people every day who are only there for that one day and need to spend their money on that one day. So, but like I said, it's like we haven't, right, really, it hasn't been like that here in a while. Yeah. So like I said, we're on that waiting list, which is just Reed wanting us to spend $2,500 on a small press booth, which we would have to bring our own tables, our own chairs on top of everything. I mean,
serious?
Yeah, we live here, and I'm like, oh, that's too much of a hassle. Because it's like, look, because even if you're not dragging your stuff through the subway, which is a nightmare in and of itself, Manhattan traffic is not for the faint of heart. So it's like, so both options are nightmarish, about getting to New York Comic-Con. So, you know what? I mean, these shows, they just, it's like they just how they are, I guess, but yeah, but like I said, congratulations to everybody who obviously had a really good time and a successful weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of good trailers came out.
All the creators I spoke to said they did well. So
yeah, it's like I was watching Mary Bellamy on Facebook, and the difference between her first day photo and her last day photo was like really, it's like she just like her table was just like practically empty by the end of the convention. So congratulations to everybody. And I guess we'll just all see you again next year and live vicariously through your Facebook photos. So on that note, we have a guest coming up. So we have the one and only Rich Perotta coming up. So we're going to show some love to some sponsors or whatever you want to call them.
Friends, family, sponsors, animals, people, whatever.
But if you are interested in sponsoring us, we're open to that. We're open to that idea. So if you do want to sponsor one of our shows or all of our shows or whatever, however you're feeling, go talk to Nita at raginabc@gmail.com and she'll hook you up. So let's run some bumps and let's get Rich in here. And hello.
Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello, Harry Bastard. That's me. Yes.
There you go.
Good morning. It's morning where you guys are, right?
Yeah. Well, it's brunch time now. It's around like 11:30 right now because you're not in the States. You're in England, right?
I'm in England. It's now 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, so there you go. So at least, it's like you don't have to worry about being well, maybe you do because you're always working. So, you're always doing something. So probably like me and the rest of us, like, no, I'm tired all the time.
It gets tiring after a while. What's up, Pops? How you doing, brother?
Yeah. And
what's up, man?
Look at Pops trying to start trouble.
That's where with son Loki. No, it's Rich. Wow. That's fun. Mike, that's very funny. Anyway.
So look at Pops trying to start trouble, but hey, that's
that wasn't Pops. That was Mike trying to start some trouble. The bastard werewolf son. Okay,
right? No, that would be me.
That's a little bit. That has a little bit more, just a little bit more avarice than hey brother.
Right. There you go.
It is what it is. Not worried about it at all.
Yeah. Yes.
How you guys doing?
Good. So speaking of busy, so you have another campaign coming up. But before we get started, why don't you tell all the peoples who you are?
Okay. Hi. My name is Rich Perotta. I'm a comic book artist. Have been one since 1994. Started my career at Marvel Comics, and I was an inker there for about 10 years, working on just about every single title you can think of at one point or another. And then when I stopped in 2005, I took a few year break, and then in 2010, I started working with DC Comics doing the same thing. I got tired of it, and in 2013, I started penciling, and I went through the independent circuit just to not only to hone my skills, but to meet a lot more creators than I did when I was a professional. And in 2021, I decided to go the road of self-publishing with my first graphic novel series, The Incantessi, which I have 2 chapters finished. But with that one, I want to rework it a little bit because it's been a while since I touched it. But I also have this other idea that I have right now that will be out as a Kickstarter within another week or so, I think. Yeah, another week. It's called The Roaring. And right. I'm really digging this one.
Well, it's like, and yes, and it continues your tradition of actually really awesome titles.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because it's like it's like because the Incantessi was just like that's a really good name, but the Roaring for what I was seeing was like that's a really good title too. You're good at titles, sir.
Thank you. I'm honored. Yeah, that's the first. That's the copy of the first issue right there. I didn't know. Nita, I wasn't too sure if you don't have issue 2, do you?
Right.
I got to send it to you.
No,
Right.
there was a mess up with PayPal or something, and by the
Yeah,
time
no,
I realized
I
it was
did the
done,
whole
the crowdfund
Indiegogo
was
thing, and I just
over.
sent it back. I'm sorry, it was
Oh,
the
right.
whole Indiegogo thing, and I just sent it back.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that was the
have the
only thing.
PDF because you sent it to me when you were
Well, of
working on it,
course,
but I
you
mean,
know.
no, I do not have the book.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll figure that out somehow.
Right. Yeah. It's like so do you, I mean it's like do you I mean do you come across a lot of issues with having to ship, from overseas to the United States or
No, it's well, the only issue that I have to worry about is time, really, because printing here, regardless of the paper shortage or what's
right.
going on, is not nearly as bad as it is in the States. I mean, I've done comparisons. I go through Mixam,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is something over in the States, but there's a couple of branches over
Yeah.
here in the United Kingdom. And for the amount that I spend, for the amount of prints that I would need of a certain issue, as well as the shipping, it comes out to less than what I would pay for the printing of the issues in the United States.
That's
And
that's
the
weird.
UPS shipping is outrageous.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah. It's like
And it's funny too, because the UPS from Great Britain to the UK is cheaper than within the boundaries of the United States. I'm like, where did this come from? I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm still gonna do it.
No, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how we have to maneuver around that and all that. But yeah. So tell us about okay. So you said that you jumped from the Incontessi to the Loughran because there was just something about the Incontessi that it's like, okay, you want to kind of like go back. Now, when you say go back to it, do you mean like redo certain things, or you just need some time to kind of you needed to work on something else in the meantime?
Well, it's part needed to work on something else, but it's also when I wrote that, and here we go with the sympathy points. When I wrote and drew that, I was undergoing cancer treatment, and quite frankly, I wasn't too sure if I was going to die. So I was just like, let me just put something out. I don't care what the hell it is. And I did. And when I got a pretty decent response out of it, and when I found out on Thanksgiving Day, by the way, that I wasn't going to die.
Oh, that's
better than any turkey at all. So I'm like, yeah,
exactly.
that's great. I was like, okay, well, now I have to do this. I have to work on the second issue. Okay. And now I'm committed. No, I am. Well, I was, but I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. I was just like, I got to put something out. I don't care. Let this be my epitaph or whatnot. So when I put out the second issue, hi, Rich from Tina and Rodney. Hey, guys. What happened was I rushed the second issue. It still came out good, but I branched off. I wanted to try and include a couple more things, and I branched off a little bit too much. And I realized that it's like, I'm running on ice because I would just keep adding stuff, feature creep. And that was it. And the book wound up being 60 pages. Rich is good as writer as he is an artist. So thank you, Pops. Wow, that's an honor. I do appreciate that. And what happened was I didn't like the direction it was going because I would have to throw in about 15 more directions that the story had. That it was bad. It was only bad. It was bad because I had a little bit too much ambition for the second one. I'm coming off a high where it's like, yay, no cancer. Right. And now everybody likes the book. People who got the book like the book. I'm going to do it. But then I realized I was like, I still like where I'm going, but I don't love it. So I'm shelving it for a bit. Right. And I'm going to condense it a little bit more. I'm going to take out some of the elements from issues 1 and 2, and I'm going to see what I could do about issues 3 and 4. I may put them all into one thing, or I mean, I have to see what I'm going to do with that.
Right. But, so obviously, you're kind of you're a pantser type of writer as opposed to a planner. Like you just make it up as you go along, as opposed to like writing the story out at once and then starting.
Yes, for Incantessi, yes, but for Roaring, no.
Oh, okay. So we have
I've already plotted out. I've already written half of issue 2 already, and I've already somewhat plotted out issues 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is going to be a limited series.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've already plotted all that out.
Right.
And when I finish the coloring on this, because I'm going to have someone else do the lettering for me. Finally.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
I know, right? I'm going to work on the script immediately. I mean, I'm going to drib and drab a little bit here with the script for issue 2, and then I'm going to just take a week off and just brainstorm for, like, at the very least, issues 3 and 4.
Right.
See how far I can go, because I want to make sure that I have a plan, because I plan on distributing and printing an issue every 3 months.
Right. Oh, okay.
Well, it can be done, because the book is never going to go past 24 or 26 pages max.
Well, so you're really planning out how you want to do this series.
Yeah, absolutely. This one I want to do a little bit better. I mean, I loved what I did for the first one that I did, and that book saved my life. It did. It really did. But and the person who the character is based on saved my life too with that one. Right. But I wanted to make sure that I did this one right, because then when I get back to the Incantessi, then I know what the hell I'm going to do with it.
Right.
You know, so there's that. And I have a couple of other things in the works that I may do in 2024. I have to see what's going on. But other than that, I'm on this until at the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024, when issue 6 should be out.
Right. Oh, there you go. So, so at what point? So, what made? So, tell us about the Roaring. What's that about? What's that story about?
I've been tooling around with the 1920s or a future version of the 1920s. I wasn't too sure which direction I was going to go, but I was always been fascinated with that decade. It's a very turbulent decade. You had the Prohibition, you had women's rights for voting, you had the exhibitionists of women as you know, as they are flappers, and how they have a new liberation within themselves as a result of voting. And you know, at the end, the stock market crash, all the rampant crime over the Prohibition era. It's such a turbulent, exciting, wild decade that ended with an incredible crash. I mean, literally a crash in October 1929. Yeah. So it just built and built and built, and it's such a fascinating decade to do a story in. And what I wanted to do was, I wanted to take organized crime and turn it a little bit on its head. It's like, okay, you have all these mobsters and all these cats and everything. What happens if the flappers, or if some of them decided that they wanted a little bit of a piece of the pie? Right. Because they very much can. I mean, they're always arm in arm with a couple of these gangsters or something. If with a bunch of well-laid plans, they could pretty much wipe out an entire crime family without anybody really noticing. So I just started drawing flappers for no reason at all. And I came up with the main 3 that I have for the story. And I'm like, oh my God, I got something here. Okay. So I took a couple of months and I wrote out the story. I wrote out the plot for the first issue. Then I wrote out the script. Then I wrote it again. Then I wrote it again. And I wanted to condense it because I know me. I turn into a big run-on sentence like I am now. And I turned it from a 40-page story to a 25-page story, and it works. It works very well. So I'm very pleased with it.
Does it bother you? Well, does it bother you that it's 25 and not 24?
Yeah, a little. But you know, that's just me. I'm a lycanthrope. I wonder who said that a little while ago. Gee.
Yeah. Because it just means that, oh, okay, great. Now I have to add like 4 more pages, 3 more pages to the book in order for it to print properly. As opposed if you had just made it 24, then it's like, okay, it's like, there we go. We have all our pages.
Well, I do have a credit page. I am going to have a credit page for page 1. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I may have an insert page right there around there or something like that for a little bit into.
Oh, works out. Right, yeah.
Well, I want this book to be a little bit more stylish. And another thing that I love about the 1920s, it's an incredible leaps and bounds in art and design.
Right. Yeah.
The posters during that time are, oh my God, they are the template for how layout is done now, and this is a century ago.
Yeah.
I mean, these they're so dynamic, and they take perspective and they bend it and crash it into its will, and it's so fascinating how it works.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, they had airbrush effects before they had airbrushes.
Right.
It's just astonishing to me.
It's the whole, the Art Deco. The height of Art Deco, where it's like it's not just little lines everywhere. It's just it's like the way. I mean, we still have a lot of Art Deco buildings surviving in the city, and just to see that artwork, it's just very powerful in its simplicity. As opposed to there's just something very grandiose about that, and it's done in very, very simple design and shape. And
yes, it is. But it's it's simple yet complex.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's time taken on it and care. With any type of any facet of design. I mean, some of these buildings were decades ahead of where they should have been stylistically and appearance wise. It's just it's such an amazing decade, and I had to do a story on it, and I did. And so this is my best work that I've done. This is my best art that I've put together. I just finished doing thumbnails for all the pages. So and I've already finished penciling 15, 16 pages, and I've inked 10, 11 so far. And I may take one and turn it into a double page spread. I'm not too sure, but I don't want to get too nuts because that's what happened with Incantessi. Before I know it, it'll be like 100 pages or something.
Well, you see, and that's the thing. So so obviously with this one, you have a better laid out plan for your story. But as you're actually working on it, it's still very easy for you to blow it up at certain points. So how do you keep yourself from doing that? How do you rein yourself in?
What I do is as far as like how the story I feel would potentially unfold, I take the most likely highest impact outcome for what I'm setting for each story. In the second issue, the police officer who's supposed to infiltrate this gang of flappers, they called themselves the Roaring, by the way.
Right.
She meets one of the members, and one of the members meets her, and they become friends. But that, it's kind of like a little bit of a Donnie Brasco thing.
Right.
But a couple of other things happen along the way that will merge into the story, because the officer who infiltrates this gang is going to be joined by a police officer who went undercover in the mafia in New York City, who just came back. There's a twist to that, and there's a twist to everything, and all of it will make sense towards the end. And then what happens with issue 3? Issue 3, they get a little bit more into it as far as the crime is concerned, a little bit more in depth into the stories of the characters, on why the motivations as to why they all do this. 4th, things get a little bit heavy. 5 become rather tragic, and 6 culminates in an ending, which I cannot reveal.
Right. There you go. But the whole point is that you have that focus point.
Yes.
That keeps you kind of like on the straight and narrow with the story, to keep you from going on all these side quests that are so easy to go on. So you worked at Marvel, you worked at DC. Now here's the thing. We've seen so many people go through those companies, and it's almost like when they leave, they never come back to comics again. It's kind of like that was the culmination of their, their careers. And it's like, okay, I did that. And then, I don't know, they go become accountants or something, So,
got the t-shirt, fuck that shit.
Right. Yeah. Something like that, So
never.
What was different for you that you worked for these companies and then you went on to say, you know what, I'm going to continue telling my own stories and go into independence?
I had to. It's the same way. It's the same reason why you do it, Daphne. Yeah. You have to. You have stories inside you that you will tell.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, it sounds right? It is. It's as basic as that. It's like I've always had that ability to do so. I mean, I started drawing when I was 4. Right. Yeah. I made those funny paper, the Sunday funny strips when I was 5, and I made flip books when I was 6. You know, and it's like my dad brought home he brought home a Shazam comic book or a Firestorm comic book in 1973. Yes, I'm dating myself and how old I actually am. And I took a piece of paper. No, I didn't take a piece of paper. I took the clear part of the newspaper that's on the side where the type didn't go.
Right.
Because I didn't have any paper at that point. And I would try and draw the superheroes on those little strips. And he also brought home a coloring book of the Super Friends. And not only did I color within the lines, but also used shading.
Right.
And highlights. And I'm just like, yeah, I think I kind of like it. Yeah, for a 5-year-old, that's not bad. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to do it.
Right.
And
you started adding elements in the background and perspective. And
it was well, I learned all of that independently. Right. I had a family that did not agree with what I was doing. I had friends who did not agree what I was doing. And school, all my peers, you know, they made jokes about it. It's like, oh, you're going to go work for DC and Marvel. I'm like, all right, you know, you've lived in New York. You've lived in New York most of, if not all of your life, right, Daphne?
Pretty much. Yeah,
you're aware of like the IQ quotient of Staten Island, New York, correct?
It is the running gag, yes, between that and New Jersey.
Yeah. It's like Staten Island is so bad that New Jersey and New York fight to not keep it.
That's true. That is actually true.
It's like, no, we're good. We don't need Staten Island. We're okay. We already stink enough as it is here in Jersey. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, that's like the little end of like, you know,
to give everybody
part of the hot dog that falls off, you know. It's just,
well, to give everybody some perspective, Staten Island for the longest time was literally where we would send our garbage to.
Yeah,
Staten Island started off as a garbage dump that people just happened to live on.
And now it's a park.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's a park. Now this has chud written all over it at some point, you know. As soon as like a space meteor with a specific type of radiation hits there, it's chud. Yeah. That's the end of it. You know, there goes the mall, which, okay, not a terrible thing, but still, you know, it's like and you know, and growing up there as I am, you know, and most 99% of everybody that I knew was either a Guido, or a Cougine, or a Cougette. And most of them drove IROCs that their mom and dad would buy them, or it would literally like just going to school in a sea of clones.
Right.
And it was just like, yeah, I can't really do this.
Right.
And
yeah.
I never listened to anyone when it came to like, oh, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're going to suck. You're going to fail. And then when I was 24 and I got hired at Marvel Comics, people started shutting up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I didn't even go to school for it. I mean, I went to school at New York Tech for advertising design, and that was it.
Okay. Because that was my next question. Did you go anyplace special?
No, I didn't. Everything I did, I studied independently. I learned how to. I took a couple of life drawing classes. I got a couple of books on perspective,
right,
and storytelling. I mean, I got books on storytelling for film instead of comic books. You know, and it's like. Yeah, that's how I learned. Mm-hmm. That's how I learned. I didn't stop. I didn't let anything stop me. So I was just, I'm just going to keep going, and I got it.
Right? Yeah. You definitely did. You know, I mean,
it's I got lucky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like luck, perseverance. Maybe we were just destined. You know, that type of thing. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because especially with like, you know, because I think about like all the people who are well, there you go. You see, now he looks like now, well, you see, before you were really going for a gangster look. You know, you look kind of gangsterish, you know, with the hair back.
Maybe like this here.
Yeah. So
man bun. No,
there we go. No.
No.
There we go.
Wolverine. Right. So there it is. Lycanthrope, you know, wolf.
There you go. Because I was, you know, like thinking about the people who were getting fired from Oni, or at least not going to see their books published through Oni, and it's like, and I kind of wonder how many of those people are going to continue, because if I'm not doing it through a publisher, I'm not doing it at all. type of thing. And hearing that, like, well, you worked at Marvel and DC, and like you said, you had to tell these stories, so they were happening anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's always nice to see the people who can kind of like do that.
Well,
I mean,
it's the thing is that it's like, after you leave Marvel, after you no longer work for Marvel or DC, unless you really want to be a lifer or something,
right?
It loses its luster after a while. It's like really cool, like, wow, holy shit, look at this, I'm working here. But then it's like
kind of working at
yeah,
Disney.
I'm working here.
Work at Disney, and then it's like, shit, it's just another company.
It is. It really is. After a while, it is. I mean, yeah, you get the golden calf, and then you get the other golden calf when you work for DC, but it's the same thing.
Right.
And it's like you can't do anything with the characters. You can't do anything about the characters. You can't create your own because they'll steal them from you if they think they're halfway decent.
Right.
So it's like, forget this nonsense. And I got tired of, like, quite frankly, I got tired of painting over other pencilers' work. I was like, all right, been there, done that. What's next?
Right. Well, what was I guess, like, the big lesson that like did you? I mean, I'm pretty sure that you learned being at these companies. Like, if you had one big takeaway from these companies, from being at these companies, like, you know what, I had to work there to understand this.
Yeah.
What would it be? What would it be?
Well, you just said it. I had to work there to really understand what it was.
Oh, that is the thing. Okay.
That is it. No, you're 100% right, Daphne. Right. I mean, it's just like, for me, I had to learn. I learned through working there how things are done. Like, I had no idea whatsoever that the artwork was done on boards 11 by 17 and then reduced at 65%.
Right.
And I had no idea that they would take photocopies of them and use markers to color in and then put the codes in next to that. That's how long it was long ago that I worked there. And it's like all these things that go in, and it's like so much goes into all the production and everything. And when you continuously do it over and over and over again, you get used to it. And if you start off doing stuff like that, it's going to be rough, but after you do it a few times, it's like, all right, it's still kind of rough, but at least I know what direction I'm going.
Right. Was there one thing that kind of like really surprised you, that probably either just like, wow, like that was like really amazing, or like, holy crap, now I really know how the sausage is made? Was there, you ever had moments like that?
Yeah. Throughout my life, I suffered with ADHD, and it took the death of my father-in-law, who told me on his deathbed, "Rich, take care of yourself. Do what you got to do. I love you, buddy." The next day he died. He was more worried about me than dying. And I love this man, and I was absolutely unhappy with everything that I was doing because I simply couldn't focus. So I decided to get treatment for it. And as soon as I did, I was able to focus, and I remembered everything that I was taught that I forgot how to do. And once I exercised, a focused brain and ability into what I was doing, that was it. That really was it. That was when I started penciling. And then I realized, like, yeah, I could draw. Man, I can draw, and it's like, wow, but I didn't stop there. I kept on learning. I didn't say like, oh, wow, and now that I can focus on God. It's, that was the big epiphany for me when I realized what I can do if I had a focused mind. And that's how it happened, really. I've been on that medication every day. It'll be up 10 years next year. And frankly, because I'm able to handle that type of medication, I am where I am now. I'm the artist that I am now. I can see things in so many different ways, but I've always been able to do that. I just wasn't able to focus it. So it's like, if there was ever any type of moment, it was the moment of clarity that I had within myself that gave me the ability to see everything else that I was doing or wanted to do.
Right. Which is the direct opposite of the mythology of people say, oh, you shouldn't take medication because it kills your drive or whatnot. And you had the actual opposite effect. It actually freed you to follow your passion. because you had I guess a chemical imbalance that needed to be balanced.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it's a hell of
Yeah.
a chemical imbalance.
Right.
And the medicine, there's one thing about the medicine, it does hurt you.
Right. Well,
It does. There are side effects, and it
Yeah.
does harm you in a couple of ways. But
Right.
I would rather have that type of harm, which may shorten my lifespan by a few years, than live in a fog for the next 40 or 50.
Right. Yeah. That's
Screw that. It's how you live
right.
instead of how long you live.
Right. Quality.
I'd rather be the man that I am now
Right.
than I was 10 years ago. 1,000%.
Right.
If
Wow.
there is such a number.
Well,
Absolutely.
okay. Well, let's
Your math is accepted here.
Yeah, exactly, because we can't do math here at all. So let's so here we have the Roaring on Kickstarter right now. It's in pre-launch.
It's in pre-launch.
It's in pre-launch right now. So you said that it launches in about a week.
So August 2nd.
Are you doing anything special for the first day or anything that that
still thinking about that?
Right. Because it's always good for people to sign up on the pre-launch just in case you decide to do something on that first day that they don't want to miss out on. So head on over to Kickstarter. I guess we're going to have a link in the show notes.
Already there.
It's already there. So click on that.
It's already there. Can I share the page and show you what I have in there, or do we not have enough time?
Actually, we're just hitting the top of the hour.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine.
It's like had I have known you had that page up, we would have been talking.
Yeah, because we were wondering.
Yeah,
no, it's okay. It's not a big deal at all.
You know what?
It's okay.
You know what? It's like, look, the conversation was really good anyway. So,
Thank you. Wow.
So there you go. So you know what?
Yeah.
It works out. So anyway, so the links are in the show notes below. Everyone will find out what's on that campaign in a week anyway. So just hit the notify me button.
That is true.
Get notified when it goes live, and just so you're in there, on the first day. And maybe if Rich decides to do something special, you won't miss out on it. So there you go. So Rich, aside from Kickstarter, where else can everybody find you?
Well, you can find me also as a co-host of the Monday Madness, which I'll be co-hosting with Pops tonight. I also show up on another show with Pops the Tuesday Morning Brew. I have my own YouTube channel, which I haven't really gone on in a while, but there are times when I go live and I draw sequential pages for the book that I'm working on in question, so anybody can get an idea of what I do. The channel is called The Richness Art Show. And it's like I love it. I love going live. I love interacting with people while I draw. That's fun. You can go there. You can find me on Twitter at Greystoke20, and you can find me on Instagram at The Richness Art Channel.
There you go.
Where I am.
All right, so there you go. So if you're interested in seeing more of Rich and his art and his books and his passion, you know where to find them. So there you go. So Nita, you have any last words for the peoples?
No. Back the shit. It's sexy.
Right, there you go. Exactly. There you go. Also,
it is sexy.
And also speaking of sexy, Rich did do a portrait of you as one of the flappers.
Yes, I was hoping you'd say that. Oh, is there any way you could display it? I wanted to.
So Facebook. So if you head on over to Rich's Facebook, it is there, so you can check it out. It's a really nice piece. I really like the way it came out.
And if also, that's a reward. That's a reward.
Oh, there you go. So there you go. So you've always wanted a picture of Nita
or yourself as a flapper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He also has a commission tier where you can get yourself done up as either a flapper or a gangster.
And not only that, you also appear in the book as an NPC character. I've already laid out the page where Nita appears. So
there you go. So make sure you back this campaign so you can get all of these interesting.
Yeah.
So for me, you can check to see more of my work and all that other good stuff. You can head over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWRKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, and especially talking about Facebook. If you're not following my Facebook page yet, you don't need to friend me because I'm really shitty at catching up with friends, friend requests. Just go ahead and follow it. Yeah, it's like, check out my Facebook. I am going to be trying out something brand new tomorrow at 2:00. I will be doing an hour-long, just straight up drawing stream exclusively to Facebook. I'm just trying something out here, so we'll see if it continues more for that. It's like if you're the type that likes to watch artists, by looking over their shoulder, this gives you the opportunity to do it without being annoying about it. So check me out on Facebook tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and I will just be drawing or inking something for about an hour, just listening to music and just getting some work done. Just something fun, like when you're scrolling, it's like, oh, Daphne's drawing, how cute, that type of thing. So make sure you check that out. And also, again, you can check out my channel here on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art, where you see all my videos on how I do this stuff. And also, if you want to check out some previous live streams that I did, or you want to check out my live stream on Wednesdays as well, if you want something a little bit more interactive and talky other than the Facebook thing. So, which also everything simulcast through the Ragin 2 network. So so make sure that you like, subscribe, thumbs up, everything that you need to do to keep the algorithm gods happy. We're slowly creeping up in subscribers, so thank you very much for everybody for subscribing. And and thank you everybody for joining us in the chat and keeping it lively. Thank you to the 6 mystery people who are watching us. We know you're there. We see you. Come on over. Come on over to YouTube. But you know what? You could be at work. You could be, it's like just working and listening along to us. So that's fine too. So as long as you're there watching us, it's all good. So that's the end of the show for us. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you again on another episode on Friday at 11 a.m.
Yes. And don't forget this coming Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's like another adults only live stream coming up this Saturday. Oh my God, is it really this Saturday? Yes. Jesus. At 10 p.m. It's adult. It's you have to be adult. You have to click to get in. It's marked as adults only. You have to make sure you click on the button to get in to verify your age. But the thing is, though, we have a lot of fun. We have adult oriented conversations. We draw some porn. We have a good time in the chat.
Wait. What?
Yes, sir. Live drawings.
Right, exactly. But like I said, it's an adults only live stream, so you have to be logged in.
In fact, this episode just became an adults only stream, so I'll be editing that in a bit.
Okay. So there you go. So again, thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you really do the work, actually do the work, you never have to fake your accomplishments. Woo. So we'll see you next time. Hit that button.